Hey guys, if you haven't seen previous episodes part of his Baja Overland series, now is a good time to check them out in the right hand corner up above. Good morning, it's T-minus 3 days to get out from Mexico. So that's today, all day, and 2 more days. So I kind of looked at the map briefly right now and yesterday, and I think I can get to Gonzaga Bay right now. I think it's gonna take 2-3 hours. Basically camp out very slow pace, relax. Hopefully the coast allows for some mussels or oyster gathering. I gotta look at satellite images to see what the coast is like, because even though all this stuff here is rocky, nothing. So hopefully Gonzaga Bay allows for that. And after Gonzaga Bay, day after, I'm gonna make it a push back to Coyote Cals. It definitely has been last night more stuff than I'm used to. And that's because I had to copy SD cards. Actually my phone is still copying. I guess that card had lots of time lapses, and seems like whenever it's time lapses, separate images, the copying to hard drive from SD card takes forever. It's been going on for like half an hour now. It's only sitting at like 38% or 40%, so I'm probably gonna need to start driving while the hard drive is copying, not utilize that phone. So yeah, I have my SD card copying bag with all that stuff, 2 food jars from yesterday's feast, a giant bag of garbage that I accumulated, cleaning dishes, all that stuff. Faber's battery definitely came in handy yesterday. I plugged it into fridge on it. Oh, I see fridge is out. Actually, I think it stopped maybe half an hour ago or an hour. So yeah, all the juice is sucked out from my battery. So yeah, I can pretty much do one night on one battery setup with a fridge in warm temperature. But I really need to basically set up dual, triple deep cycle battery setup under the front bumper. More money dumps. Well, we restore the roof obviously when I come back slowly in the next several months, and definitely look for campings, prolonged stays. Definitely look into 2 deep cycle batteries up front. I need to do it, yeah. I'm sick and tired of relying on secondary things. Well, I have another booster pack or battery. It doesn't have as much capacity as this one, but crank times it can totally do like 20-30 cranks easily without draining. So high crank. Yeah, that kind of sucks. It's not even lunchtime, it's already kind of out. It doesn't help that I have canopy open and sun shines directly onto it. So the sun went down and I started watching movie, eating or whatever. The wind picked up, it was crazy. My car, even though I don't have roof rack right now, it was like swaying ever so gently. So if I had the rooftop tent, there would be no sleeping. I assume that many times people stay at shores with rooftop tents, they kind of suffer quite a bit with all that flapping around and all this noise and shakes. That's a good thing about canopy setup, right? It's hard windows, hard everything. You don't, like, maybe a little shake, but you don't really feel it. There's no noise coming in. It's nicely insulated from noise as well. Well, I guess the fabric helps in my canopy too. I was even thinking, well, okay, let's say if in the future I get a pop-up camper, right, with pop-up top, the fabric there is, well, it's still fabric, just like tents. Maybe a little thicker, sure, but it's still fabric. So in the winds, it's probably doing a little bit of flapping as well, providing some noise. There is the Alaskan, I think, brand, which is completely hard shell top. It's heavy, you know, it's not something I would put on 1500 ram, but if in the future I get a like 3500, 2500, then that could be an option. You know, when I look at those Unimogs sometimes here in Baja when we pass by, or Sportsmobile, I guess, even those van dwellers that heading south, you know, bumming out for like months on end, I kind of envy their setup in a way that you can stand up. There's like that space to, it feels like a little apartment, whereas for me it feels like more like Japanese hotel, I guess, which is kind of still okay. Like for one person, me, I'm fine. I get in there, it's like a little tree house that I never had. It's nice and cozy, I get everything I need, no problem, and lay down like on the couch at home, no problem. But every time, like so many places I've drive here and there on the thin little trails, like even 2 days ago getting to what do you call it, San Lucas? No, San Ignacio. Getting to that spot, that road I drove, I have no idea how I would drive it in a Unimog. The house box would be so scratched or even bent in places, like they're too big, too high. Like sure, you got comfort, you got big clearance, but center of gravity, even though the front and back, the home from the cab are kind of a little bit independent, right? That's how they can articulate around terrain. They're somewhat independent. Too big. I mean, I'm jealous of those things, you know, I want one, but I can see the limitations. There's many places I won't be able to go, because I was always thinking, maybe this is my starter kind of overland vehicle. Maybe later I'll get something like a Sportsmobile van, which would be same size, just, you know, obviously you can stand up, maybe even longer, you know, jacked up to, you know, to have high clearance, you know, lockers, all that. Or some type of Unimog type stuff. But the more I ride, the more I realize, you know, having something like a Unimog would, like, becomes a problem. Huge parking problem whenever you are. Stealth problem. Like, you park that thing somewhere, you probably, it's like an RV basically. They know you're in there, you're living like in places where you shouldn't be. Whereas with van and stuff, you're inconspicuous. Like with van you can be seen, sort of. With me, I can still be seen because my curtains, like I still have little gaps here and there, so the light can shine through and people passing by can still see that there's light inside. So I'm not fully insulated from that, from people knowing that or thinking that I'm not there. If you go bigger, heavier, more limitations. And to conclude this, there's no ideal vehicle. Of course they're cozy, there's more space where you can have more water stored, you can have more power stored, you can stay in places for much longer, for weeks on end. But you're limiting yourself in many other ways. So no ideal vehicle. There is always, you take something, you lose something, you gain, you lose. That's how it works. I found one oyster yesterday on the whole rocky place here. One oyster. It's like this big, but I didn't have knife with me at that time, so I'm coming down for that one oyster. And may as well do some shooting. I was gonna put the camera down over here and try to jump on those rocks and kind of get to that spot for my freaking one single oyster. But the waves, I'll probably slide and get wet, or maybe even scratch myself or bleed. Like, everything here is super sharp. It's all like volcanic type rocks. Even driving here is, you know, gotta be careful. It's all like sharp rock. No oyster. There's actually something I forgot to do. I wanted to do it this morning after all this off-roading. Well, there wasn't a whole lot of off-roading, but it's been bumpy, especially those 4 hours to San Ignacio. And here, this thing is now wobbles quite a bit from side to side, and I was gonna adjust the bolt, not the side one, but the one that's going down. That bolt is gonna snap probably like in El Camino del Diablo if I don't tighten it. So I need to undo this and do that part. The drive to Gonzaga Bay to another coast is about 3-4 hour drive through the infamous Highway 5, and I was stopped at military outpost again. Alright, so now I was stopped and very thoroughly checked. Like, they went through all the inside, my glove box, under the seats, you know. Well, a couple of guys were chatting whatever with me, like asking about camera, you know, about various stuff. Well, a couple of our guys were searching all that, but still, you know, whenever they open doors and stuff, I try to get on that side of a vehicle just to see what they're doing, because I don't, who knows. Even though this military guy is supposed to be good at the posts, what if they sneak in something into the car while you're not looking, and then kind of like, oh, look what I found. So I don't know, maybe there are cases like this that it happens, that they sneak something in and then call you out on that. Maybe not, but just in case, yeah, I try to always watch what they're doing. So There are guys here with punctured tire and they don't have a correct jack or the key, so I'll see if I have something for them. This will help, it's a big family. Happy New Year! I should have been shooting, so these guys only just now made it, making it. And it's kind of interesting, we bumped into like 4 cars from Oregon, Overlanders, and ever since we departed we kept on like bumping into them. Sometimes we would camp some other place, they would be like ahead of us, then on the road somewhere we would bump again, and it's like, and eventually we spent Christmas with those guys in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, there's been many people who just kind of like a few days later still kind of seeing those places.
Like on the same road?
Yeah, pretty much.
How far down?
La Paz. Those overlanders we met, they said Las Animas, like in Los Angeles, is like the best spot they've been to.
Yeah.
Las Animas? You're probably not getting there. Alright, well, I'm gonna see if I got something for those guys.
Alright, perfect.
And you guys, Happy New Year! Yeah. Oh, you're pretty much out already, like, you got 10 minutes and you're out on the highway. See ya! Just as I started unpacking my stuff, they found their ranch overlogs, so very good. And so it's back to Humpty Dumpty Highway 5, a connection from Highway 1 all the way to San Felipe. The road pretty much looks like this, it doesn't change year after year, they've been doing it for about 15 years from what I've heard from the local. But it's a very fun stretch. If you're into zipping through Baja style, this is the place for you. Alright, I have arrived at Gonzaga Bay. There is thankfully a gas station here, right at the very southern tip, and Ranchero Grande Market, right there. Oh, this kind of sucks. I grabbed salsa and refried beans and all that stuff already. No tortillas, only the dry ones, not the soft ones. And this is the only shop here in this area until San Felipe. So, well, I still grab those cans, but I guess I'll be like doing noodles or whatever. Or if I gather enough clams, then I'll have some clams. And strike, this is wrong turn. Problem with places like this is half of the roads are not actually listed on the map, so when I looked at my GPS coordinate I was off. And instead of returning back through this road, it's like, well, why not just cut through the bushes and eventually I'll come out on the other road.
Well, I just got lucky arriving at this place at the right time, because this whole area gets flooded, and you only have limited amount of time when you can come and leave. So sun gets quite loose, so you gotta just quickly plow through this area.
I have arrived! Yes, Gonzaga Bay. This is southern tip. Not sure if I can gather anything here. Well, it's kind of rocky. I may have some luck with oysters, probably not, because lots of people probably stay here, although I'm all alone. However, what I passed over there is a bunch of cottages, houses, there's some campers standing there. On satellite image I saw that people are camping right on this spot here. I did have to pay 12 bucks, so 200 pesos to enter. The guy started talking about something. All this confusion, eventually he pointed to $12. I'm like, well, that's what I was gonna do to start with. I approached him to pay. So Google Translate speech, like speech to translate, didn't work, no connection. So no connection. So you can type and it will translate, but when there is no connection, it won't do voice recognition. So my mistake, I think for Thailand, that's exactly what I did. Or yeah, there is some other package you need to download for voice translation. Anyway, I got maybe an hour tops of sunset. I'm not gonna unpack right now, doesn't matter. All I'm gonna do right now is go along the shore and see what I can find. Alright, I've packed garbage bag in case... Oh, I forgot the most important part. My knife. How the hell am I gonna get oysters or anything like that on the seaside? I'm armed with knife, beer, smokes, garbage bag. Time to go hunting. Whew, no oysters, no mussels, none of that stuff. Some spots there I can see where oysters grew, but obviously they get picked off just like people like me. However, I gathered quite a few sea snail like fins to use as a bait. I think tonight I'll do some fishing. Well, I'll deploy and we'll do some fishing. Alright, so fishing rod is set up. I'm ready to go fishing. It seems like the low tide is happening, or has been happening. The guy, a Californian guy on ATV with kids, I asked him like, hey, how deep does the water gets here with high tide? And he's like, oh, throughout the night or later on it will start to get high, and basically the stretch, the little peninsula, I guess, within peninsula, with a peninsula within bay, it's gonna get flooded. So there is no way, like the patch where I'm at, I'm fine, but at night there is no way for me to get out because this whole area gets flooded. But he said by mid-morning, basically, the low tide is in, you can drive. So I guess sometime like 10 o'clock or something, I'll be able to drive out of here. But early morning, it's still gonna be flooded to get to the mainland. Yeah, so time to fish. Why not? I think I'll grab actually the phone with me. I'll start watching James Bond while fishing. Well, maybe as well, because I have a bell for fishing, so if something is there, I'll know. But may as well watch a movie. Success to some degree. This is my little harvest over here. and a couple of them are decent size, you know. That's pretty good. It's almost impossible to open these guys, so I think I'll start boiling the pot, put some seasoning, they'll open up, and I'll have clam stew. But I really kind of wanted to do some sashimi style with fins. We'll see. I'll get busy with the clams and something to eat, watch the movie, and see you in the next episode. Hey comrades, don't forget to hit that like button and also leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you should by hitting that subscription button and also bell notification next to it, so you can actually get my video updates both in notification in your video feed, and as well you can support this channel if you like my videos through PayPal or Patreon in the links down below or just after this video.